Alright, so hello again. We're going to be going over the Riven versus Teemo matchup. Specifically when Teemo is taking Ignite and Riven's running Teleport. This is going to be Adrian Riven against Teemo 325, so a Teemo 1 trick. It's going to be about Diamond 1 MMR, which means it's just Masters players from last season pretty much. Yeah, so you can see here, this is the game we're going to be going into. You can see that Adrian manages to do quite a bit of damage and, does significantly better than Teemo. And so first what we should do is go into the builds. So what you might see is interesting here is that Adrian actually ends up going for Gore Drinker into a Cyrilda second item, which I think is really interesting. Because their team is not even that tanky, and he's against Teemo. It could be because Teemo went Seekers second, and he just wants big damage against them. But we'll just have to see, I guess, why he decides to go with that. And then for the rune setup this game, Adrian takes Conqueror, Triumph, your General. Okay, he takes Coup de Grace. I think Coup de Grace is good because when you're playing against a matchup like Teemo or Quinn or Vayne, generally speaking, you want to go for those all-ins once you hit level 6. So really, that's going to give you the opportunity to do so. You want to be able to basically burst them. So having Coup de Grace is good for that type of situation. And then he goes for the Nullifying Orb and Transcendence. So Nullifying Orb is really good against all AP matchups. So I think Gragas, Vladimir, Teemo. Nullifying Orb is what you take. Very useful. It'll just give you that extra shield. Okay, so let's get into the VOD review. Alright, so to start this game off, we can see that Adrian here opts for the Longsword 3-pot, which is interesting. It's interesting he doesn't go D-Shield, but I guess the reason he wants to go Longsword is because he does want to look for those all-ins against Teemo at those early levels and when he hits 6. And also, you get a decent amount of sustain from your health potions. Maybe you can look for a couple of trades and then just all flash comboing him. Okay, and also, we should look at the jungle matchup. So we have Gragas into Nunu. So Adrian's going to have to watch out for Nunu ganks, for snowball ganks. They could come from pretty much anywhere, and he's got to be careful of that. I think Gragas can also just basically one-shot Teemo once he ganks him. So a 2v2, I'm almost positive Riven Gragas is hard win that. We'll have to see, I guess. So let's get into the matchup. Okay, so we can speed it up. So we're doing the classic 5-point. They're just going to be making sure they don't get invaded. They do have a Thresh Draven on the other team, so maybe invade. Okay, so I think Adrian's gonna look for level 1 cheese here. Maybe, possibly. He's gonna walk up. Yeah, so he is going for this level 1 cheese. Now this is something you might want to do against Teemo or other ranged matchups, or like Ryze or something like that. Someone who's weak level 1, or Kale. You can walk up into this bush, into this bush right here. And then when they come and try to get the first CS, you can look to trade them for half their HP plus. When the wave comes to about here, you can just basically walk this way and just take a trade with 3 Qs. And you'll probably lose him a lot of HP, but again, he has 3 pots, so that level 1 trade is really good for him. He doesn't have teams in this bush, so this is interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen. I'm quite curious. So the wave's coming in. Just watch him here. Oh, I messed up. I think generally speaking, in these ranged matchups, you want to try to have the wave shove into your turret, and you want to try to hold the wave in this area if possible near turret, because it becomes really hard to CS when you shove out the wave. Because if you shove out the wave and Teemo freezes, he can just get free harass all the time, and it's very hard to CS. And because you don't really have, and if you get low enough, he can just run you down the lane with his blind and stuff like that. So that's something to look out for. Okay, so it looks like he just takes an auto attack, and you'll see how he sits in these bushes. In ranged matchups, sitting in these bushes is very effective because it allows you to just get everything so he can't auto-attack you. And it gives you good position near the creeps. So you can already see he's taking a lot of HP. And he actually doesn't opt for the second wind in this matchup. If you're having trouble with this matchup, again, D-Shield second wind is always good. It'll just help you sustain a lot in lane. So he's just looking to pick up these trades. So both sides know the jungler started bot because Riven was in the bush and so was Teemo. So they know that the jungler started bot side. So again, Teemo has Trio right now. He's Teemo, of course he will. I wouldn't be surprised if Adrian kind of just stalls it out till level 6 maybe, and then looks for all-ins, or maybe looks to all-in with Gragas. We'll see. Because Teemo does have Ignite, so he could also play to take some trades, and then TP back and hold away from the spot. So he could play for the Ignite advantage, the TP advantage that way. You can see how Gragas is gonna... If Teemo dies, it's gonna be really bad for him, but... Okay, see, you can see how they don't know where Nunu is, so they're not gonna gank this, because in a 2v2 situation, this wave is too big, so they will lose. And again, one thing he could do is try to trade and then TP back, but that would waste his TP. So he might be wanting to save his TP for bot. You gotta be careful though. Teemo does have a grasp, so that poke is gonna be quite annoying. Okay, now you can see how Nunu is looking to invade here. And Teemo has Prio, which, I mean, is not a lot Adrian can really do. So Gragas kind of has to give this fellow crab, I think. Because Teemo is able to rotate. Oh no, Gragas actually gets this fellow crab. Because Yasuo has Prio. So I guess he got these. Wow. I guess they're... So Gragas is just much stronger than Nunu, I guess. And also, Vladimir is really useless this early. So you can see how... So although Riven didn't have Prio, Yasuo did have Prio there. So that's why Gragas was actually able to contest that. If Yasuo did not have Prio, they would not have been able to. So he's just looking to stop this Teemo's back to zone him off more CS. Because you can see Teemo's losing CS. So the longer it takes to come back, and he's the TP, so the longer it takes him to come back, the more he'll miss out. So it's actually okay for Adrian to not have priority there, because Yasuo did. And without giving it the crab, I mean. They were able to contest the crab still. And also, Vladimir's really weak. And Yasuo is very strong right now in skirmishes. And same with Riven. Riven is very strong in skirmishes. Riven and Yasuo are much stronger than Teemo and Vlad in skirmishes, in these early skirmishes. So that's why they will get that. So, a pretty good start here. It's still the option back for. Oh, he doesn't back. So Teemo does stop the back, which is kind of annoying for Adrian. But I guess he will stay for now. He does still have one pot left. I think Adrian probably wants to back. He wanted to back there because he's sitting on, like, let's see, he's sitting on 1,000 gold right now. So Teemo effectively has a 700 gold advantage in this lane until he gets the base off. Okay, so he does get the base off. He does manage to get it. Let's see what he buys. He buys a Hex Drinker, so this is really good. Okay, and you can see how he TP's back. And now, well, people might think this TP's int, but this TP will actually help Adrian hold the wave here, and he's probably much stronger than Teemo with no sums now that he has his Hex Drinker. So he's going to look to probably hold the wave here and look for all-ins probably, because Teemo will not win an all-in against Hex Drinker with no sums. There's just no way, and Adrian has Flash. Yeah. So he's not able to freeze it because he took too much harass. I think once Adrian hits 6, this matchup is going to be a lot more volatile because Adrian's going to be constantly all in him with ultimates. Especially when Teemo doesn't have Flash. Because Teemo doesn't have any really good escapes. All he can do is run. He cannot... No, nothing else. Dragon's top side right now. Dragon. So Adrian's just shoving. Looking maybe get a roam off here. Maybe a deep ward. So you can see how Teemo knows that Riven has pretty good all-in. So he's... Okay, now, I think that looked a little weird, probably. What was Adrian doing? I think Adrian was looking to proxy this next wave. Now, if Adrian was able to proxy this next wave, like maybe here, or something, or clear the wave, and then just stand here, he could basically get ultimate, probably, and then he could allow Teemo, he would stop Teemo from ever coming back to the lane. And that would be a really strong move for Adrian to make right there. Because you can see how... If Teemo let Adrian get 6 and let Adrian just sit right here, and how would Teemo get to the turret? He would just get killed, right? So That's something you could look to do, is if you have a level 6 spike and someone and their enemy team backs, the enemy laner backs, he's level 5, you can look to the proxy and then try to kill him when he comes back to the lane. That's how you can really extend your lead, because you're just zoning him off CS and he could kill him as well. Oops, let me go back to the... See, Grags is invading, so Adrian's pretty confident. Okay, so now Teemo has 6. Not that in an all-in that's going to really do that much. You can basically just put a shroom down. So we'll see how this plays out. Adrian just farming. He's got level 6 now. He does use the E to mitigate the harass. Okay. So the jungler's top right now. So Adrian is letting the wave push him. He wants... Teemo has no flash. Teemo's just dead here, I think. Yeah, Teemo's just dead. He's just dead. You can see how Teemo had no vision on the enemy jungler and just overextends. So that was really good by Adrian to let the wave shove to him when his jungler's topside. Basically give him a free kill. And now, again, Teemo's no TP, so he's going to lose a lot here. He's going to lose another wave, probably. Let's look at the game state really fast. So it looks like Adrian's team's all doing decently well. And the enemy team is... They're not doing too bad either. But Adrian does have a lead on this guy. So Adrian's lead is now... Oh my goodness. So Adrian has a 1k gold lead from this CS difference, plus the platings, plus that kill he just got. So he does have a significant lead here. So Teemo does stop the back, again, just to annoy Adrian. Now Adrian's going to have to lose a wave if he backs here. It's kind of annoying. So he does decide he's not going to back, and he's going to go for the honey fruit, so he doesn't have to miss this wave. He doesn't want to miss this wave. You can see Teemo's sums is coming back up, so it's going to be a little bit harder to kill him now. But you can see how Teemo's Ignite is pretty useless right now, because he's not playing any close all-ins. Like, okay, maybe he's going to look to kill Teemo here, I think. He may die. Is he dead? No, he's not. So he loses this because Teemo has a big wave, and he has no ultimate. Otherwise, he obviously would have won that. But you can see how the nullifying orb plus the Hex Drinker was pretty strong there. He gave him a big shield. So maybe he probably should have, in retrospect, he probably should have, instead of backing in this bush, he should have recalled, like, maybe in this bush or by his turret, and then he wouldn't have had to miss the wave, and he could have all-in Teemo with all his items when he came back. So he buys a Sage on the stack and boots. Now, in ranged matchups, boots are really strong. You want to get boots early in ranged matchups because it helps you gap close, and it helps you... Like, boots is damage in ranged matchups. Boots will help you kill the enemy laner, because otherwise you can't get onto them, right? Like... So yeah, that's something to take into consideration whenever you're playing the Riven side. Okay. Let's see. So Adrian's gonna shove here. I don't know if he does know Nunu's here. I think Nunu walked into this ward. So you can see how he also picks up the oracles, so he can destroy those shrooms. Okay, so Grag is padding bot side, and he's got the wave shoved. Okay, so they're gonna look here on Nunu. Nunu's kind of dead. Oh, he actually lived. Okay, Adrian kind of runs it right there, not gonna lie. But, wow, I'm surprised that Nunu was actually able to live there with the Aftershock and the Ultimate Shield. Let's see what Dragon says here. Wow, Nunu one-shot the crab, that's kind of unlucky. Okay, so Adrian goes back. Picks up a Ruby Crystal. Teemo picks up a Giant Spell and a Seekers. So it's going to be kind of hard to kill Teemo now with one trade, because, I mean, if Teemo obviously tries to fight, he will lose, but if Teemo runs away, it might be hard to kill him, because he, again, rushed a Seekers and a Giant Spell, so that's a lot of armor and a lot of HP. But that is going to that means Teemo's not gonna be doing that much damage right now. He's just gonna be kind of trying not to die, basically. So Adrian runs back top, catches the wave, shoves it in. We do have the dragon coming up soon. Adrian's TP is also coming up soon. Maybe I'll do some time for the dragon. I do not know. Let's put on the timer for dragon. The dragon's gonna be 15 seconds. And I think Adrian's TP will be up in time if they want to fight this. But bot lane looks like they're winning, actually. So again, Gragas is just sitting top. They really want to kill this guy. Teemo does have flash, though. So you can see how, when his jungler's there, Adrian's playing really far back. And a lot of people at lower elos will probably play too aggressive, and they won't bait it hard enough. This is really good bait. Teemo had no idea, like... Okay, really good Gragas out there. I'm surprised he's actually able to get him. They look like they didn't hit him, but I guess he did. As you can see how he baits that game really hard. He's really far back, he doesn't play too aggressive. He just lets Gragas engage. Once Gragas engages it, it's just free for him. Maybe Teemo will get the shroom. If not. My Gragas is going to play bot side. Adrian's going to be up a lot of gold. Not to mention XP. Let's see. Now Adrian's at about 1,000 gold, yep. Despite ending that kill in that previous game. Adrian is going to make the same mistake again of being greedy. He's greedy and he keeps backing in this bush, and Teemo keeps canceling it over and over. You can see how it would have been faster than just run to here in the recall. But see, now he's got to stay again. He doesn't miss his wave. So I think that is something that Adrian probably could have done differently. Assuming maybe there's a reason he didn't want to back it. Maybe he's close to Gore Drinker or something. I think he has Gore Drinker. Maybe he didn't want to farm the next wave. I don't know. Wow, so you can see option TP here. I'm not sure that TP was really needed. Okay, yeah, that TP and flash, not the greatest. You can see how there really wasn't a reason to TP there, because they were already winning the fight, they got no extra kills, and now he misses a bunch of CS and XP and allows Teemo to get played. So, I don't think that was worth it. They do manage to kill Thresh eventually, but still, like, imagine if he had TP'd back top and he killed Teemo, they could have taken a turret or something. But now Teemo, it looks like Teemo's gonna get first turret here, so I don't think that was worth, because now look, now Teemo might even be up gold here. They're back even again. So I'm not sure that TP was great. But Adrian does like helping his team out a lot. I've noticed that Adrian tends to use his TP a lot more for his team. Where compared to people like, you know, Adrian Riven. I mean, sorry, compared to people like General Sniper and Viper as well. They generally use it as a lane tool to get back to lane. Or to extend their lead in the lane and freeze it or something like that. Or hold the wave. Because you can see how, like, they've punished the Teemo a lot, right? But just by using TP like that, Teemo's already back to even with him. So that's something you have to keep a look for when you're using TP. And he used flash there as well, so I'm not sure that was worth. Red team. Basically, he's just been coming down to Adrian Riven setting up ganks really well for Gragas. Seems like that's what he's been doing. And not letting Teemo just poke him out too hard. Is Yasuo winning this? Nope. Okay, let's see what so Adrian does have the gold drinker. He's pretty strong. He's really strong right now. Teemo doesn't see anything great. No misses yet. I wonder, does he go for lucidities here, or does he go for like mercs? We'll find out.
Shut down.
Nice. They managed to kill him. So he does go back and get mercs and some more HP. You can see how the enemy team is very heavy AP. So getting that cloak, which he's going to get next, and Hexdrinker and mercs makes him really hard to kill. Especially because this Raven is 1 and 4. So Riven is actually really strong into really heavy AP comps. Because you can build the Hex Tech, you can build the what's it called? You can build the Hex Drinker, and then you can build like Hydra and Spirit Visage and Gore Drinker, and Gore Drinker synergizes really well with Spirit Visage, and same with Hydra, and so Riven actually really strong at these heavy components. You can see Adrian running around here. Okay, Adrian doesn't really help it all there at all, but he'll probably go back top, or someone's got to go top here, I think. Maybe not, actually. You can see how Adrian doesn't have TP, and the dragon's coming up soon, so they want to get vision control on the dragon. And he just lets Yasuo go for it. Ooh, they don't cancel it. So you can see how this Drake is pretty important, because the enemy team already has 2. They don't want to let him get 3, because then 2 is okay. 3 is really taking the chances, so because they only get 1 out of the next like 4 or whatever. But they got control because Adrian rotated early. Because Adrian came and Zagus came over to control the dragon, they get it. Now we'll engage on the team. You can see how Riven is really strong here. He's really tanky. Look how much he's just face tanking it for so long. He probably is gonna die here. No, he's not. I was wrong. They don't win this fight because Yasuo is not there. Well, they do win it eventually, but they don't like win it super hard because Yasuo was top lane at first. He was just rotating down. But you can see how long Adrian was able to like just face tank that forward there, which is why Riven is so strong. These comps. The enemy comp is not gonna have a way to deal with him really, I don't think. Especially once he gets more damage and like, spirit resistance. But I don't think he finishes spirit in this game, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I think the reason he ends up going for Last Whisper is because this Teemo rush has Seekers, and Vladimir will probably get Seekers eventually, I think, and then Nunu's also very tanky. So in order to kill Teemo in the side lane, it'll just be much easier to get Cyrildas. And Cyrildas will also give him the slow, so it's much easier to chase down Teemo in those if he opts to 1v1 the side lane. And since he has TP, he's going to be looking to match his Teemo a lot, because he can match Teemo, he can kill Teemo, and he can also TP to fights. And Teemo can do none of those things. He can't kill Adrian, and he cannot TP to fights. So once Adrian gets that Cyrildas, Teemo's going to really watch out in the side lane, because he's just going to get shredded and slowed and not have any options to TP to fights. That's why going Ignite can be so bad sometimes, because once you get to this state in the game, having Ignite is just so much worse, like having TP. Because let's say his team goes Baron right now, right? What is Teemo gonna do? Teemo's gonna like sit here and have to clear waves, right? Because when they crash to his turret, it's not like he can shut them out. And then his team can just TP to the Baron. So yeah, that's why he's kind of just pushing bot right now, because the Baron's coming up. That's why he's bot. He's bot 1 to match Teemo, and 2 because the Baron's coming up on the other side of the map, and he has TP advantage. Yeah, so you can just see he's just looking to put pressure on the bot side of the map. They're wave clearing. If more than one person comes for Adrian here, his team can just do the Baron, I think. So I don't think he's like strong enough to like straight up kill Teemo under turret yet, because he does not have double pen. So he's just looking to like kind of cheese, see if Teemo will overextend. Maybe play for the next direction. Teemo does overextend here, it looks like, but you can see how without the armor pen, he just cannot kill him. like faster. It would take him too long. I'm pretty sure he would win that. It would just take him forever. And again, he won't win it under the turret. So I think that's why he opts this Sorrel does. I think once he gets Sorrel does, he'll just shred Teemo super hard. You see just pressuring bot lane. Thresh had to rotate. I tried to kill him, but Adrian just backs off. Just says, let me go get the... He actually opts to get more, to get the cloak though right now. So I wonder when he's going to get these, So he's going to get Whisper soon, I think, because he's sitting on 1,200 gold. Yep, so he's buying the parts for the last Whisper. But I think it's going to be pretty difficult to kill Teemo, or to put a lot of pressure on Teemo, because Teemo can kind of just run away right now because he's got a lot of armor. As you can see, you're continuing to go bot lane here. Like, this is what you want to do as a top laner. When objectives are up and you're stronger than the enemy opponent and you have TP, split push the other side of the map. Force them to respond to you, and you can see how he looks at TP there. He stopped looking for a TP, but his team already won the fight, so he continues to show. And I think late game, I'm pretty sure Adrian's team is much stronger. Vlad could be a problem, but I don't think Teemo, Draven, and Riven will do very much compared to Kai'Sa and Yasuo. So you can see he needs to shove, get that pressure, forces Teemo with a wave clear. Teemo does just sit in Viz at the turret, which is kind of annoying. Teemo just being obnoxious, doing what Teemo does. Farming the enemy camps, it looks like his team is at least gaining an XP advantage. And the goal advantage. Dragon does a lot of damage with his Night Harvester. Okay, so now another dragon is coming up, and Adrian's gonna continue to shove this because this dragon is really. This dragon's pretty important, but it looks like the Reds are just gonna hand it over because they'll just go right there. Yep, they're kind of. Ice is super strong. Adrian is constantly thinking them. Gets the ultimate on the Raven. You can see Vladimir is trying to salvage his team, but his team is just so much weaker in fights except for him. And Adrian just is so tanky. Adrian just face Adrian more. That's another dragon down. Take a look at the Baron. 2 dead. Yeah, they're gonna look at the Baron. They might not, I don't think they can do it. I don't think they'll do it though. Just gonna take more camp. Just gonna reset. Maybe. So Adrian does still have TP. So if I had to guess, I think his team's gonna push mid/top, and Adrian's gonna continue to go bot lane for this Baron. You can see how Adrian probably gets a Whisper here. Yep, he gets the Whisper. So now he's gonna do a lot more damage to Teemo now if Teemo walks up. But you can see, like I said, Adrian's gonna shove bot because he has TP. Team's gonna run mid/top. And I don't know if there's that much more to go over in this VAR review. They're probably just going to continue to do this until they get the Baron. Let's see. Yeah, Adrian doesn't know where they are, so he's being kind of careful. Bot, like I said, King hovers Baron, so they have to check vision here. Because you can see how, like he's hovering bot, so the enemy team has to, like, check if they're doing Baron, right? But by doing so, they have to walk into this jungle and they just die. So they're just in a really bad spot. And so Adrian now is just 1v1 the side lane against this Teemo. I think he's trying to bait Teemo out here to get him to far enough so he can 1v1 him. Okay, now he's looking to TP here. Like I said, because Teemo's shoved in. Teemo has some pretty close. Adrian can look to TP if he needs to get the Baron for free. Okay, Teemo walks into him. I'm pretty sure there's no way Teemo wins this. Yeah, his extra as well. Yeah, he's not winning that. And it just gets less and less close as Adrian gets more items. Adrian might get caught though. This might overextend his threat. Looks like he will. But yeah, I think from there he's just gonna basically keep repeating. They might go 1-3-1 now. Just push all the lanes. Yep, there's Kai'Sa going. Maybe they all mid. Maybe they play 2 lanes here instead. Everything goes bot again. They're gonna play mid bot. They decide. she had 2 lanes in Siege. Adrian, now that he has Cyrildas, is just... Let's watch this. So, now that Adrian has Cyrildas, like, Teemo will just get obliterated 1v1. I don't think Teemo realizes how, like, weak he is. Teemo thinks he can actually win this. In what world does Teemo win this? Like, you can see how, now that Adrian has that armor 10 item, it's just not even close. No, I think they just lose here. Like, Teemo's dead, they're probably gonna lose these turrets, they have to give it up, I think, and they just lose the game. That's the thing right here. Shaco, what? Shaco actually assassinates that guy. And then you can see how Adrian, yeah, we're just gonna fight them, Dragon one-shot that guy, poor guy. Okay, Adrian's good engaged. No, they've ended the game. So that's pretty much it. So you can see how in these range matchups, you kind of want to play safe, farm for your items, you'll be much stronger than them late game, and look at set up ganks and big ganks for your jungler, because like I said, Teemo is very easy to gank. A lot of it, like Bane, Quinn, a lot of them are really easy to gank. You just don't want to take too much grass in lane, and then get low enough to be ignited and surprised. Because you just want to scale. As Riven, you'll be much more useful in team fights, you'll outscale them 1v1, that's pretty much it. So, I hope you like this VOD review. I tried to go a little bit slower with this one, especially in the laning phase. I tried to pause it more and do more analysis and stuff like that, but let me know if there's anything I missed or any match I should go over in the future. Yeah, so that's how you deal with a Teemo, and play with your jungler. So, thanks for watching. Comment if you have any advice or anything else you want to say. Thanks so much.